Now, to tonight's other big story, the World Cup, with England's campaign getting underway in just a few hours' time. Excitement is running high, of course, with the players and their fans hoping to end 60 years of hurt. Who better to talk to this evening than England's World Cup legend, former captain, England record World Cup goal scorer, Gary Lineker, former BBC presenter, of course, who has now taken his football podcast to New York and to Netflix. Gary, thanks for being with us. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But here we go again, I suppose. Another World Cup, another roller coaster. As the Times said today, another pocket full of dreams. I mean, are England ready?
I hope so, Mark. I just want it to happen in my lifetime. I mean, I was 5 years old when we won the World Cup, and I have no memory of it. But it's interesting. I think Tuchel he's got a plan. I think it's to really focus on 14, 15 players, keep a brotherhood in there. I think most of us would probably do it differently, have brought different people in. But once the football starts, then we'll judge his actions by what happens on the field. So England have got a lot of very good players. They've got a fabulous midfield, I would say. There's 2 or 3 really strong ones in the tournament, but England's, I think, competes with any of them, with Anderson, Rice, and probably Bellingham, I would imagine. And that's pretty strong. We've got, I think, probably the best number 9 this season in world football. We've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So there are, but it's hard to win a World Cup. We know that it's really difficult, but hopefully it'll happen one day, and then preferably next month.
Yeah, I mean, but it is the pressure, it's the expectation, the hope that seems such an onerous burden. What's it like dealing with that? Because you've had to deal with that. I remember Italia 90, I mean, huge pressure then. Mexico 86. I mean, what is it like for the players to have to deal with just that weight of expectation?
I remember you interviewing me in those 2 World Cups, Mark. long ago. We're still going.
I can't remember.
Yes, you can. I think the pressure's no different on England than it is the other big football nations. You can imagine the amount of expectation on countries like Brazil and Argentina and France and Germany. So I don't think that's any different than anybody else. I suppose the fact that it's been so long since England was successful, which is, for a country that produces, probably one of the strong, well, if not the strongest league in the world, you would expect a little bit more. But the one thing I would say is that England have learned to cope, I think, with the pressure over the last few tournaments. We've gone, what would we had? We had 2 finals, a quarter-final and a semi-final in the last 4 major tournaments. And if England keep knocking on the door like that, eventually it might open. Now, you need things to go for you in a World Cup. You need to avoid big injuries to big players. You need a little bit of luck in a game at some point to go your way. Because the margins are so small in football. I mean, 4 years ago against the French, I thought England were the better side. In the quarter-final, I thought we looked really strong. But they were a bit unlucky. A couple of decisions went against them. Harry skied one of his 2 penalties. It's so small, the difference between success and failure. But if you keep knocking on the door and you keep getting to the end of tournaments, eventually it'll happen. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you look at the French, I mean, they look pretty good, don't they? They would be, I suppose, the ones to beat?
I would say, I think there are probably 4 or 5 nations that look strong. France's front 4 look incredible. We saw that in the game yesterday. Mbappe looked really sharp. They faltered a bit in the first half, but they were terrific in the second. Spain got off to a very slow start, but they won the Euros 2 years ago. They've got some brilliant players. Lamine Yamal will be coming back now, and Nico Williams on the other side, and they're as good as it gets in terms of wingers. Then I would say, don't rule out Argentina. I mean, the little fella's showing that he can still do it. Incredible hat-trick last night. I mean, he's the goat that keeps on goating. I mean, he is truly extraordinary. So, and they've not really changed.
Not many people get World Cup hat-tricks, do they?
Well, one or two, Mark. One or two.
No. Well, your record. I mean, Harry Kane. You mentioned him earlier. I mean, he's not far off your World Cup scoring record.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll go past it in this World Cup. He's 2 behind my record. Obviously, if he does it in this World Cup, he'd have needed an extra World Cup than I had. So that's. But Harry's terrific. What a player! What a finisher! Yeah. What a couple of seasons he's had at Bayern Munich. We need him at his best to go deep into this tournament. He's come into it as fit as I. Obviously, I think 2 years ago in the Euros, he wasn't fit. I think he had a back problem and it showed. But he said himself he feels in the best form and fitness of his life.
Yeah. Now, what about you? I mean, you could be fronting the BBC's coverage if things had gone differently, shall we say. I mean, are you missing that? Do you miss it?
No, I'm here in New York City, Times Square, incredible studio, doing Netflix shows every day for the World Cup. So...
Well, you could be in Salford.
Well, exactly. I mean, the BBC are in Salford, obviously, and that's a long way from the World Cup. So, they've made that decision, I presume, for monetary reasons. But yeah, I'd prefer to be out here, and it's just, I mean, the World Cups are so special. And we're in Times Square, and honestly, thousands and thousands of fans from all the different teams. The Scots have been here in force, the Brazilians, the Colombians, the French yesterday, Argentina. It's just magical. And, there's a few issues in this World Cup early on, particularly, with letting people in the country, and what they've done to Iran is, it seems deeply unfair, forcing them to go back to Mexico to commute basically just to play a game. The referee issues with all those sort of things. But what I will say is the stadiums are fabulous. They've all been full. The ticket pricing is ludicrous for me, and the avarice I don't like at all. But they're still filling the stadiums. The atmosphere at the games has been terrific, and the football so far has been way better than I think most of us thought it would be. Some brilliant performances. The big players have turned up, and I think it's been a fabulous start to the actual football side of the tournament.
Right, and not being with the BBC, being out there, as you say, with Netflix, do you feel more free now to have your say on stuff? I mean, you could talk about Trump. You could talk about FIFA giving him the FIFA Peace Prize. I mean, what did you make of that?
I thought they were being ironic at the time, but obviously they weren't. That's not one of Sycophantino's greatest moves. But there's always politics around sport anyway. Do I feel free to speak? I've always felt the need to speak on humanitarian issues. Do I feel it makes any difference? Probably not, but it makes a difference to me. I have to live with myself. So, I'll continue to speak up for what I think are important issues. And there is a difference, obviously, now that I'm not at the BBC. I don't have to tread on eggshells, and so I'm enjoying life. And I love the BBC. I was there for such a long time. It was, and they'll be doing the football really well. Even decide the fact that they're not here. The commentators are, obviously. So ITV do it great. BBC do it great, and I think here on Netflix we'll be doing it pretty well as well.
Yeah, all right. And just to pick up on one point you made there before, I just want to finish with England again. You mentioned the Iranian team. I mean, you think they should just be allowed to stay in the States and not have to, leave every time?
Oh, I think it's deeply unfair. Obviously, there's a peace deal very, very close as well. It seems to be, hopefully, because I think we all want that everywhere in the world. So, maybe if that gets signed, that there'll be, unless it has been signed. You're on the news. I don't know.
It might be signed tomorrow. Might be signed on Friday.
Okay. Well, let's hope so. And hopefully, then there's a nice gesture. They'll allow the Iranians in, because it's got to be fair for all the teams. This, it's for the fans of let them all in, let them enjoy it. Obviously, I think the World Cup brings such a beautiful harmony of nations that I think politics could learn from that, because I think we all want to get on with our lives and not allow, wars, etc., to take over. And particularly, this is a football tournament, and I saw the scenes yesterday, I think it was, where the Uruguay players were, they searched on the kind of the airport where, there's sniffer dogs all over them, treated like they were sort of criminals. And I hate that kind of thing. And I think it's deeply unfair on the players, because, they've waited all their lives to play in a World Cup. It's the ultimate dream. Let them have their moment.
Yeah. And look, just to finish on England, how far do you realistically think they will go? I know how far you want them to go. How far realistically do you think they will go?
Well, realistically, they can go all the way and win it, Mark, because they've got the talent there. But as I said before, you need a bit of luck. You need your players to stay fit. You need to build momentum during the tournament. You can say, well, they can get to a semi-final. But if you get to a semi-final, you can win that game. And therefore, you're in a final, and then you can win that game. I don't think we're one of the probably top two favourites. I would say that has to be France and Spain. But after that, I think we're in a group of countries, along with certainly Argentina, I would say certainly Portugal, and then us. And I think I just hope it happens one day before I die.
Yeah, well, so do I, because we'll keep having to do these interviews. But,
exactly.
Gary, look, listen, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for chatting about it. Enjoy the game and enjoy your new life over there in New York, or temporarily in New York with Netflix. And good luck with your podcast. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Mark. Always a pleasure.